Hey YouTube, it's Charlie from Reader Turned Writer, and it's that time of year where we talk about goals. So I just wanted to quickly review my goals from last year and see how I did, and then look at my goals that I have set for next year and kind of explain how I do goals. Last year, my reading goals, I wanted to read 10 to 15 books per month, and I hit that at a minimum, and usually did more than that, and so check. I wanted to read a library book monthly, which I did. I wanted to read a nonfiction book monthly, which I did not do, but I almost did. The last few months I just kind of forgot about it, I think, and didn't quite do it. But if you average them out, then I did read 12 books. I just didn't read them on every single month. I wanted to finish my 2021 TBR list, and I either read or started reading and DNF'd for some reason every single book on my 2021 TBR list, which is 31 books. And I wanted to read all of the books that I owned in January that I hadn't read yet, or donate them. So I read or DNF'd and got rid of every single book that I owned in January that I hadn't read yet. So now I have new books, of course, that I bought throughout the year, but I haven't owned any of them for more than a year. I wanted to participate in at least 4 readathons, which I did, and I had a lot of fun. I wanted to reread 12 books. I far surpassed that, and it's always fun to revisit old books. And then I wanted to get my series down to 25, which I did. My series now stand at, let me look and see. Starting in 2022, I'm in the middle of 15 series. I have 8 series that are not finished by the author yet, and I have 4 that I'm not sure that I want to continue. I wanted to read 6 classics, and I far surpassed that as well, especially if you count Agatha Christie as a classic, because I read 12 of them. But even without that, I was able to read more than 6 classics. And I wanted to do my Jane Austen marathon, which I was going to read every single Jane Austen book and then watch all of the adaptations for all of them. And I started off really strong, and I did not finish. And I did read all of her books except for the novella Lady Susan. I did not end up rereading that, but I did reread all of the others. I just didn't watch all of the adaptations. I just didn't really want to, and I was really busy with other things like having a baby and reading a lot of books, so I just ended up not watching a lot of the adaptations. But maybe I'll keep them on my radar and watch them in the future. Okay, so those were my reading goals for 2021. So my writing and YouTube goals, I wanted to watch YouTube weekly, and I did not do this. I wanted to post to Instagram weekly, which I did do. I often did 5 days a week, but not every week, but I did post every single week to Instagram. I wanted to write every day with a break in September for the baby, and I did do this. I wanted to find new people to follow on YouTube and Instagram weekly. I didn't do this. I did often find new people, but I didn't do it every single week. I wanted to finish my Cinderella backstory, which I did. I wanted to finish my Cinderella first draft, which I did not do. I highly overestimated how much I could get done in the writing area and also have a baby. So yeah, I didn't finish my draft. I did get about 50% of the way through, re-outlined after I figured out a whole bunch of stuff that I needed to fix. And I'm basically starting over on, there's 2 characters, and I'm starting over on one character's parts. So the other one, all the words I wrote still work, but the original one, I'm starting over. So I'm like a third of the way through, maybe. I also wanted to edit Rapunzel well enough to get Rapunzel to beta readers, and actually get Rapunzel to beta readers. And I didn't do either of those. I also wanted to research querying, and I didn't really do that. I kind of did that, but I wouldn't feel like I'm ready to query even after doing the edits for Rapunzel. There's still a lot more that I feel like I have to learn about. So, writing, I made progress on both. I did work on Rapunzel some and make edits on that, and I did start the first draft of Cinderella and got it to a point where I could start it and made a lot of progress on it. So I'm happy with how the year went. Even though I didn't hit all of my goals, I was able to move forward and progress, which is the most important thing. And I feel like it was a good balance of life with a baby and working on my stuff. So now 2022 goals. My 2022 goals, these are things that I would like to work on and like to make progress on, but if I don't actually hit these, like with my 2021 goals, I'm okay with it. So my first one is to read 10 to 15 books a month. I always have 10 to 15 books, that's just what my TBR is. And then my goal on Goodreads is 180 books because that's 15 books a month. And I know that I'll read more than 15 some months and less than 15 some. Last year I read 205. So I usually read between 180 and 200 books a year. I want to read a library book monthly. Again, I really enjoy supporting the library, and our library is fantastic and I love taking our kids there, so it's great for me to go and get some books as well. I again want to read a nonfiction book monthly, and I want to really focus on some more nonfiction this year because I feel like I read a lot of novels, which is great and fun, but I also really do want to focus on things like writing craft books, parenting books, religious books, things that will help me to grow in the areas in my life that I want to become better in. I again want to finish my 2022 TBR list, which has 36 books on it, and I want to read all of the books that I own in January that I haven't read yet. So I have 18 ebooks, 9 physical copies of books, and 19 audiobooks to get through this year. I want to participate in at least 4 readathons. I really love readathons. The year that I took a break from YouTube, I didn't do any readathons and I really missed it. So I want to consciously be making an effort to participate in readathons. I want to reread at least 12 books and read at least 6 classics. And I want to keep my series under 25. So I want to make progress on my series as I start reading new series so that they do not get out of hand again. And those are my main reading goals. I basically use my monthly TBR and the way that it's set up to make sure that I accomplish these goals. My writing and YouTube goals for 2022, I want to upload to YouTube monthly. So even if I only have 1 video a month, I will be happy with that. I want to post to Instagram weekly, and I want to write every day, and with this, my target word count is 2,500 words on my novel a week. 500 words a day, Monday through Friday. But with writing every day, I actually am starting something called Morning Pages from the book The Artist's Way, which I haven't read yet, but my brother-in-law and my husband have both read it and have been talking about it. And it's just where you sit down and kind of stream of consciousness write stuff. And so I want to do that every single day this year. I want to post a blog post to my personal blog weekly. It's kind of like a sort of online journal for me and my family that I keep, and I really enjoy it. I want to finish the second 2/3 of my Cinderella first draft, and I really, really want to do this. This is my #1 goal, is to finish the first draft this year. And I think since I've already had the baby and we're starting to come out of survival mode, I think that it is doable for me. I also really, really want to finish editing Rapunzel and get it to beta readers. Those 2 things. If I can do those 3 things this year, then over all of my other goals, then I will consider it a success. The other thing that I really want to do, and this kind of ties back to my morning pages that I'm doing, but I want to start a newsletter. I might use some of the stuff that I do with morning pages to start writing weekly just thoughts out to people. And so I'll keep you updated on that if you'd be interested in signing up for something like that, where you would get an email from me every single week just about some things that I've been thinking about or updates on my book or whatever. And then the very last goal is to start brainstorming the next book that I'm working on, because if I finish editing Rapunzel and get it to beta readers, and I finish drafting Cinderella, then next year I will be starting a new book. So those are my yearly goals. And so just to give you an example of how I break it down each month, this is my new spread for goals. I've changed it even since I did my bullet journal video. I just have different areas in my life that I want to be improving on all the time. And then the little plus is if I think I'm headed in a positive direction or a negative one. You know, if I do what I'm doing now in 5 years, will I be in a better place or a worse place? And then here is kind of like the general, like not a goal, but kind of like the general what I want to improve on. And then here I add a very specific action that I'm going to take that is a small change that will help my trajectory to improve. So for writing, I want to put more time towards writing. So I have the changes to add morning pages to my routine. And it's a small change because unlike in the book, she has you do 3 pages. I just write until I can't write anymore, usually because of children or whatever. And then with YouTube, I want to be more involved in the community again, because I feel like I just don't have as much time to put towards it. So the small change that I'm making is to watch 2 YouTube videos that I'm subscribed to in the morning, each morning. And then with family time, so like time that I spend with my family, so you know, instead of just turning on a show for the kids in the evening to get to bedtime, like actually spending time together, I want more quality time together. And the change that I'm making here is to do family dinner at the table again, because since having the baby, we haven't actually sat down to eat dinner together as often. It's more like everybody get food and make sure everybody's fed and feed the baby, and you know, so I want to get back to that because I miss that. And then relationship or marriage, I want to show love better. I feel like we are doing really good at spending time together, even with the craziness of having kids and stuff. But I want to be more active in showing my love to him. And so I want to find a way to show Ben love in his love language weekly. And then for gospel, I want to be stronger spiritually. And so the thing that I'm adding in is morning prayer, which has kind of fallen off since having the baby. In finances, I want to be better at controlling my spending. That has also kind of everything here has just kind of gotten out of hand or gone downhill a little bit since having the baby, because it threw us into survival mode and we're slowly climbing out of it. And that is true with finances. In fact, even before we had the baby, it was kind of, I was nesting, and so I was buying things like emergency things and things for the baby, and I just was like really not controlling my spending very well. So I want to do better at that. And so what Ben and I are doing right now is we're having a day where we can buy things, and this doesn't include like groceries, although I do pull out cash for groceries. But this is like if we want to buy clothes, or if I want to buy books for the kids, or if I want to buy stuff for the house, we can put it in our cart, or we can put it on a list, but we cannot buy it except for the one day a month that we designate for buying stuff. And so that's hopefully going to help me not spend so much money off budget. And then exercise has really gone downhill. I was doing so good when I was pregnant, and then of course after I had the baby I was resting and letting myself heal, and then it's just hard to get back into it. So what I'm going to do now is 5 minutes of exercise and do 5 30-second exercises, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off of rest, 30 seconds exercising, 30 seconds resting, and do that every day for 5 minutes, Monday through Friday. And then for diet, I want to eat healthier, which, oh my gosh, I was doing so good when I was pregnant, and then after we had the baby, I was so tired and busy, and it was hard. Even with freezer meals and stuff, it was just hard to want to eat healthy. What I am doing right now is I am trying to lower the amount of carbs that I'm eating and increase the amount of protein that I'm eating. So I'm trying to keep my carbs around 125 and replacing the calories with protein. I don't want to lower my calories, even though I would like to lose a little bit of weight. I don't want to lower my calories yet because I don't want to lose my milk supply or affect it negatively at all. And so, but I think that if I stop eating so many treats and pizza and stuff and start eating better proteins, which I really enjoy, they're just a little bit more work, but I do really enjoy eating healthy. Eating, like, we've been doing really good at getting vegetables in. I just like to eat things like pizza for dinner, and then it's like, no, you know, you can have stuff with better protein in it. So that's kind of my goal right now, and eating healthier will probably also help our budget, because we won't be able to just, you know, getting pizza for dinner for your family is expensive compared to just eating the groceries that you already bought. So I'm hoping that helps. That's kind of how I try and make progress each month to becoming better, is looking at trajectory and trying to make small changes, and then over time the idea is that you make big progress over time by making the small changes, because the small changes last. I would love to hear about your goals or what you have planned for in 2022. Let me know in the comments below and we can chat some more. If you're interested in following my reading journey, I do share a review of every book that I read on Goodreads. I also share more reading and writing material on Instagram. Both of those are linked down below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe for lots of reading and writing content. And thank you so much for watching my video. I will see you in the next one.